Kyrie FM and Voice of Life Radio, and at 12:30 p.m. on Q95 and DA Vibes for updates on our progress for more reliable and efficient service. Tune in every Monday and Friday.
Okay, on that note, we say good afternoon to Adina Bellot Valentine for another Domlec Power Talk Progress Update program right here. Adina, good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you, Kim. I wish I could see you. Are you wearing your chapeau pie?
No, apparently I forgot my chapeau pie today. Huh? I put it on the chair, and with all the haste leaving home, I forgot the chapeau pie.
Hey, last papa. Well, the little puppy you have at home, you should ask him to bring it for you. Anyway. Good afternoon to you, Kim. Good afternoon to listeners of DBS Radio, Kyrie FM, Voice of Life Radio, Q95, and of course, DA Vibes. Thank you for tuning in to yet another program as we continue to update you and to bring you information that you require and that you should know as far as the load capacity management program is concerned. My guest today is Solange Aaron. Solange is our commercial manager acting. Good afternoon to you, Solange, and welcome to the program.
Good afternoon, Adina. Thank you. Welcome to all.
Nice to have you on. How are you?
Not too bad at all. Day's going well. How about you?
I'm good. Okay. How is commercial?
Commercial is doing well. Very busy. Very much keeping busy with all the claims and the customer queries.
Mm-hmm.
We're hanging in there.
I'm sure. So this afternoon, we're just going to give another update as to claims, what you can and cannot do, what you will and will not see. And so, Solange, over the last few months, weeks, have we seen an average in claims, and give us an idea of what it's been like?
So basically, earlier on in the year, normally we would probably average around between 5 and 13 claims a month. Right now, we've seen an increase in the number of claims. Just over the month of September, we had close to 200 claims for that month.
Wow.
So yeah, it's steadily increasing for the past time.
It's increasing. And what is causing that increase?
Well, of course, we know with all the outages that are happening, that is causing a big increase in the number of claims. So with the outages, both, especially if it's planned, unplanned, that will be causing an increase in the number of claims that we get.
Okay. But I must say, though, that over the last few weeks, we've been doing much better. We're still having the planned outages, but in terms of persons, power, just going off with no notice or anything, we have been able to better manage that aspect of it. And so, kudos to us and kudos to our team for being able to do this. We have been basically sticking to the schedule that we've been putting out, and our customers will realize that we've been putting out schedules for a number of days now, just to give persons a better planning schedule in terms of their businesses as well and their homes, whatever they need to do in their homes. But in terms of the claims, though, Solange, what do we constitute as a claim?
Claims would normally comprise of people submitting information and documents or forms. We have claim forms. So it would be for damaged equipment, basically. So if there's an outage and your equipment gets some damage, you're not able to put it back on, or it's not functioning like normal, then you would find customers would come in and fill in their forms for their damaged equipment. So that would basically constitute a claim.
Okay, you said we of course we have been receiving quite a number of claims, and we have due diligence to do. Why would we at some point though not honor a claim? What would prevent us from honoring a claim?
You'll find in situations where, let us say, we call it act of God. So if there are sudden lightning strikes and let's say flood or any storm activity, that would customers trying to claim for damaged equipment under those circumstances, we would not necessarily compensate in that regard. So you find that that's act of God. You find other circumstances where they, especially if we put out notices for planned outages, so you know in advance that we're going to cut the power, then you need to try to secure your equipment. So those areas, you have to try and take precautions So those aspects we would not necessarily compensate a customer under those circumstances.
In the circumstances that we have had over the last few months, is there any instance that we have not honored any claim within the time frame that we've been, trying to go through this process of load capacity? Are you aware of any claims that probably have been rejected, that kind of thing?
We probably have one or two, especially if the customer would file a claim for a period of time or a day, or that we did not really take power. So if there was no power outage that day or in that area, then you find customers trying to file a claim for that. So circumstances like that, those would not be honored.
Well, when a customer files a claim, what happens after the claim has been filed? What happens?
So the customer would come in, they would fill in a form, or we also have the forms available online as well. You would fill in a form, our technician would visit the customer's premises, inspect the equipment that got damaged, and they would file a report. So when they do come in with that report, on our end, we do investigations just to confirm whether or not, like I mentioned before, whether the lights was taken in the area at that time and other aspects. So we just need to cover everything to make sure that that claim is valid. Once the customer's claim has been determined as valid, we would try to repair the damaged equipment and probably source parts. And if all of that is not possible, then we would compensate the customer.
How do we calculate the reimbursements to customers in terms of if we have to repay for the equipment that cannot be repaired?
Okay, the claims are calculated based on, so we use normal relevant accounting standards and we use rule of law to determine how we calculate the compensation for the customers for their damaged equipment. So based on those standards, then we calculate the compensation that should be paid to customers.
And it would include, of course, the amount of years that the customer has had the equipment and all that kind of thing. So
Yes.
you would not expect to have a TV or fridge maybe that you have had for 5-10 years, which got damaged, and expect to receive the costing for an absolutely new one.
That is
Is that
correct.
what you're saying?
That is correct. We would apply the necessary depreciation policy. Basically, we would attempt to put the customer back in the same position that they were at the time that the item went bad.
What is the time frame for responding to a customer's claims? Because you as well as I would know, I mean, we get the calls every day that customers are still concerned about the time factor in which their equipment or their appliances are repaired or replaced or reimbursed. What is taking this so long?
What takes it longer right now is the fact that we have a lot more claims coming in. So you find our technicians, our contractors, we're trying to get them to cover as much as possible with the large quantities that are coming in. The average time, normally customers would come in, on average, we take at least 10 working days to complete the entire claim process. What you'd find that will cause it to take longer is in situations where we may not be able to source the relevant parts to repair the item. So we may have to probably order it. So that may take it a little bit longer. We normally call that, let's say, complex claims, because they would take a longer time than your average. But on average, it's at least 10 working days.
Are we concerned about the amount of technicians or the amount of persons we have actually going around and doing those claims? Is sourcing technicians a difficult process?
Well, we have technicians internally. We would send them to liaise with the customer and do an initial investigation. The contractors that we hire to repair the items, you have to find trustworthy people you trust. So you won't necessarily just get anybody to do that kind of job for you. But right now we would say we have sufficient ones. And you have to make sure they're competent and can carry out the job well. So we have a good crew of people.
Okay, that's noted. But are we giving priority to certain claims in terms of first come, first serve, or are we looking at refrigerators first, and then probably we look at televisions? How do we determine what to look at?
Okay. We do that on a first come, first serve basis. But of course, you do want to give priority to refrigerators because it's a refrigerator. People need their items and need to be able to return to life as normal as quickly as possible. So we would give priority to refrigerators, but it is generally on a first come, first serve basis.
And what is the biggest challenge you are facing now as the commercial manager as far as claims are concerned?
The biggest challenge would be trying to get them processed and get customers compensated as quickly as possible. Because everybody wants, I mean, if your appliance goes bad, you want to get it repaired or replaced or go on with your life as quickly as possible. So the biggest challenge would be trying to process everything in as quick as time as possible while still maintaining the quality of work and service that we deliver.
Over the past few weeks, have we seen maybe probably a slight drop in the amount of claims that we've been receiving, or are we seeing an increase?
No, especially as the fact that we have put out notices at least a week in advance. So that has been helping significantly. So customers are taking the necessary precautions. So there has been a drop.
And this claim form that we're talking about, how can the customer access those forms?
Okay, we have it available on our Domlec website. So at www.domlec.dm, there's an area at the top where you see customer care. So you click on that, and then there's an area that says forms. So you can download that form. You fill it in. You can also, if you want, you can send it electronically. So you can email it to us, or if you'd like, you can bring it in as well. So the forms are accessible.
Okay, the forms are accessible. And of course, those persons requesting the form, you can always send us an email. We can email the form to you. And as Sola said, you don't have to bring it back to us in person. You can email it to us. You can give it to somebody to drop off for you once the information on it is correct and that you have signed your form. So you can access the form on the Domlec website. We can also email it to you and make it easy, accessible to you. And so Solaj, our program is coming to an end. Your final words as we end this program. We've been talking about claims, what you can and cannot do, and what to expect as far as claim is concerned. Your final comments?
Would be to encourage customers to secure your devices. There are UPSs that you can have at home, or you can have your surge protectors. These can protect your devices. Look out for our updates on our outages so that you know and be able to at least plan your weeks ahead. And we'd like to thank you as well for your patience as we go through this time. That's all.
Thank you very much, Solaj. Just to inform our customers that, of course, the outage notices for next week are already out. They've been posted. You can see them on DNO. You can see them on Nature Isle News as well. That's their website as well. They're also out on Acoustic Radio, which is a religious radio program. They have them out on their website, and they have them on their notice board as well. And so we try as much as possible to ensure that it is widespread so everybody can see it, everybody can have access to it. And of course, when you go to the Facebook page, you click on the image, and if you want to see it a little bigger, you just zoom in. I know some people have been saying that the images are small, but they're actually not small. You just go in and you just zoom in it a little bit, and you can see it nice and big and pretty. All right, we've been speaking with Solaj Eustache Aaron as Commercial Manager Acting. Thank you, Solaj, for being my guest today. It has been a pleasure.
Thank you, Adina.
You've been listening to another Domlec update as we continue to inform and educate you on the capacity management program. We continue to share information with you. Hopefully on Monday, my guest will be Dave Stamp. Dave Stamp is our Chief Operations Officer, and he'll be there to update us on the general picture as far as the generation of capacity is concerned. Thank you again. Thank you to DBS Radio, Voice of Life Radio, Kyrie FM, Q95, and DA Vibes for carrying this program. From all of us at Domlec, it has been a pleasure, and have a blessed weekend.
We bring you the power.
Domlec is keeping you updated as we work to restore full generation capacity. Join us every Monday and Friday at 12 noon on DBS Radio, Kyrie FM, and Voice of Life Radio, and at 12:30 p.m. on Q95 and DA Vibes for updates on our progress for more reliable